So, welcome guys, I'm here with yours and obviously for yours. And today we're going to discuss how to think like a genius, how to be a genius, what makes a genius, obviously having this connotation and obviously trying to reduce the gap between the normal people and the genius people. And this can be done by obviously adopting, understanding what are like the way that genius think. So it's really important to understand that what differentiates genius people with normal one is the ability that genius have to solve problems, to understand patterns, to the ability they have to grasp knowledge and apply them in order to obviously by resulting in power, because the ability to grasp multiplied by the ability to practice it what makes a knowledge really something that we can claim that is useful. So it's important to understand first how genius works and how way they perceive the world. So what's like the best way that I will say that it should be like the way that we should understand the world is using mental models, and mental models are like ways, models to represent the reality, and it's something useful because mental model is like grasping, getting knowledge, the building blocks of knowledge that already were built and they already obviously were grasped by other ones, and obviously by sharing them we kind of get them and can apply them in order to perceive the world, and so be more clear, understanding in a better way, come close. So what's the by definition is a genius, a people that can understand the world in type of lower units of time that the other one will be need to grasp the same type of information. But obviously, what are mental models? Mental models can be something that we can take from economics, from strategy, can be like something that we take off from human nature and judgment, can be something that we can take from systems thinking. So, first of all, we should look for economics. What's economy? Economy studies what basically why I'm going for economy. Later on, I'm gonna trying to go deep in mental models you can take from economy to kind of fullify our toolkit in order so to be more deep and get more higher probability to grasp the information. Why we should study the majority of disciplines? Because they grasp a lot of knowledge. They try to solve some part of our system that obviously it comes different from area to area. Well, while health and health tends to try to understand the world in order to heal the things that can come from me as a people that's surviving, is living in a world is facing, while economy, for example, is the science that tries to study the way that we should allocate the materials in order to doesn't exist scarcity by the people. First one, so that one model that we should adopt and we should understand: opportunity cost. Opportunity cost talks about the value of what you have to give up in order to show something else. So it's like what we tend to have as a lack, what you tend to lose when you do action. Example, when I'm going to the college, what is the opportunity cost of going to college? Probably losing the time that I'm going to be there and study. So what and why this is important? Because opportunity cost is what defines a lot why some people tend to do action or not. Because opportunity cost tends to be related with our perception of value in the world, tends to be related in how much costs we have to deal in order to make a action being to happen. So opportunity cost, it tends to be a score that you can give to action, and is a central component of economics. And obviously, so it's something that helps to understand why some people tend to act in certain ways or not, and so helps me to build hypotheses that if I don't have these senses that people always try gonna do in order to grasp and to get more utility as possible, and so having to deal with actions that have a really low opportunity cost. Other concept that probably will be useful. And obviously now we get more deep when you start having more models and you can kind of make connections between them. A specific type of behavior that happens in economics, that is the creative destruction. It's something that you're probably going to see. Creative destruction is something that happens in business, because business, what is business? Business is like the some type of system where a lot of people are trying to competitize by some type of resource that's scarce, that's money from the client. So they're trying to attract, to build their approach in order to build products that in the mind of the consumer will be as much as possible as low opportunity cost type of option. And so the action that and the product that I produce, if is something that's better than the other one, is will something that will be perceived as lower opportunity cost, because it's the choice that by being done is the one that I less kind of will be not be able to do, and so better will be action that I will lose as much less as possible. And so what this creates a mental model to understand the behavior of the companies and its creative destructions. Companies obviously gonna always, and sometimes the destruction will happen where some type of produce that will kind of enter in an absence of existence, because they don't have what other concept model, they don't will not have a comparative advantage in comparison with the other competitions. And what is a competitive advantage? Something that I have better than other ones. In the wildness can be like ability that some specific animal can have in comparison with the other one, because they have like a sense that can be like the vision that is higher, like they can see more far from this from a place than other animal can do. And so it's something positive that I have in reference with other one, which makes me so being able to probably getting a higher probability to get a desired outcome that in the wilderness can be a prey. So comparative advantages in comparison of what happens in wireless can be the force, the motion force that happens in a business. People are trying to innovate because they are always trying to, they are competitize to trying to competitize by the same type of element, and so for that they have to get comparative advantages, that which more comparative advantages I have in comparison with other one will be so make me able to build a product that in the perception right there, we come back from our first concept, in the mind of the consumer will have a lower opportunity cost. And that's something that we want, because opportunity cost, as we discussed, is like one of the first criteria that people tend to look for when they do a decision. And so that's why it's so important to, when you do a business, try to understand the resources that we have, and that's if it's able so to build a comparative advantage. So we talked like 3, 4 components models that helps us to understand the economy. It so helps me to understand if it's something that we get back from the economy and we see in social relationships. We can see opportunity cost. People tend to do actions that have lower opportunity cost. Probably for someone it's easier to get a girlfriend than other one, because they don't have to pay much more energy. They probably they're kind of naturally they're more beauty than other ones. So the time and what is needed to have some kisses, some hugs, the other ones will have to pay more, and probably the outcome is the same. The sensitive and how good makes me feel being kissed and being receiving hugs. But for someone that natural beauty, it's kind of they will have to spend less time to get like a better image, to get better skin, to get better body in comparison with other one, because that one that is the naturally as a comparative advantage, and so it's something that's good. But in that phenomenon we can have creative destruction. People can try to proliferate better and better in the social environment, and we can see what creative destruction. Probably people that buy some type of clothes and in 1 week they don't want them more because they already doesn't appear like to be new, and so it doesn't, it's not so much valuable to proliferate in a social environment. And so creative destruction, it's what creates innovation. So people always gonna buy to have something new, to something to impress other people. And so having the ability to be an opportunity cost type of person to be a boyfriend in comparison with other ones that I have as my competitors. So with that said, I've taught three four models that are applied in economics, but translated to our area helps me to understand the behavior of other header. And that's something that's useful for models. Models are like something that's abstract. They have like a long broad of application, and that's why they are so useful to get and to grasp because they're generalist. Makes you a people that can generalize knowledges you get in one area by grasping the models, the abstract that happens in that area, and can so make you both a bit more rich and apply you in a other header, and is something that comes with like the law that I have talked previous in some videos, that the ability to grasp knowledge of other areas and apply in your one that you got specialized and you work now talking more in academic, the more work field that you are present on and you proliferate and you earn a wage, and so try and make it better than your people that you're trying to compete to be your competitors by some type of revenue. So concept of utility too, we're going to always do the action that has more utility, something that's as in count the concept of opportunity cost and specialization. So something that's really important, and we see people tend to specialize in doing and being a nurse, other ones tend to specialize in offering financial service because specialization is the ability that we have to create a system with anyone has just to be good in something, and this is obviously good because people don't have to be generalists in terms of being good in everything. So the way that we are the way that we are makes so that the opportunity cost is lower when you create the system, when specialization is something that happens. People just have to be good, just people have to be educated in some small type of areas, because the economy, just by having a lot of people that can specialize in different areas, I can receive a lot of good things coming done from other areas that I even don't have any type of knowledge how they're made, but just by being good in my area, which I'm kind of deeply gifted by since the moment that I got birth, and just by liking, just by being good in something, I receive money by offering this value, but I receive a lot of other things, and that's something that comes with another concept: leverage. The ability to being good in 20% of things will make you sometimes being so good in these 20% of things, getting the another 80% of things that exist. And so it's some specific type of concepts that I like to get deep on, and I hope you to have liked them too and apply in your life. And I will start and will go on in more videos trying to obviously getting and grasping more models and see how they can be applied in different areas. See you in the next one.